If you don't follow kind of their checklist. Recording in progress.
Hold on just a second. Ready.
All right, this is the Diamond Regional School Committee meeting for January 9th, 2025. Roll call.
Mr. Jennings,
Here.
Mr. DiBiaseu,
Here.
Mr. Beegan,
Here.
Attorney Flanagan,
Here.
Mr. Manuel's,
Here.
and Ms. Menard. Mr. Manuel's is online.
Oh,
Yeah,
roll call.
What's that?
Roll call. It has to be on roll calls because he's not here.
In accordance to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20F, any member of the public who wishes to make audio or video recording of this public meeting, a member of the public who wishes to record a meeting must first notify the chair, must comply with the reasonable requirements regarding audio or video equipment established by the chair, is not to interfere with the meeting. Is everybody recording?
Mr. Manos.
Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need approval for the December 20th, December 12th, 2024.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Student
Mr.
report?
Chair, we have to do a roll call on that.
Need a roll call on that.
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu,
Yes.
Mr. Beegan,
Yes.
Attorney Flanagan,
Yes.
Mr. Manuel's,
Yes.
and Ms. Menard.
Yes. All right. Need a student report?
My name is Ace Whitcamper. I'm a Fall River student and I'm a junior in the electronics engineering shop. My appreciation for this trade started in middle school when I built my own computer to play games on. And when I graduate, I intend to continue pursuing electronics in college, likely through electrical engineering. During November, I attended a delegate assembly for the Massachusetts Association of Student Representatives. At this assembly, I learned a lot about effective strategies for communication, as well as learning about other issues schools in the state were facing and offering suggestions to other students based on what we do at Diamond. It was eye-opening to see diverse student perspectives. I also attended one of Citizens for Citizens 12-hour programs about leadership called Voices. We discussed personal identity and what it means to provide quality leadership while getting to hear lots of varying experiences from our peers. Right now at Diamond, the first literary magazine of the year was published for fall 2024. Winter track is off to a great start with the teams at 2-0. Athletes competed in the MSTCA Holiday Challenge with the best athletes in New England, and Senior Grace Flattery won the high jump, jumping a record 5'6". Boys basketball is still working toward their first win. This week they begin league play versus Mayflower opponents. Girls basketball is 1-4 with league opponents coming up after a difficult Division I schedule. Cheer dance have competitions coming up. Hockey is 2-5 to 1, facing some of the best teams in the state. Student government donated over 100 coats to the United Way for their Spread the Warmth coat drive. DECA is asking people to bring in business attire for their clothing drive. Here are some ongoing issues. So last meeting that I was here, we talked about the student fundraisers. So other vocational schools in the area have been contacted about their fundraiser guidelines in order to collect some inspiration for our own fundraisers. As far as the lunches go, we started updating some things. So salads no longer have the meat put in them. They're separate. You can pick whichever one you want. We're trying to get seasoning for students, low sodium options, and just a lot more variety in our lunches, which I'm really excited about. And I think it's going to turn into a great thing. The newest issues that we have right now is that blue shop pants are not allowed for freshmen and exploratory, and jeans are mandatory, regardless of whether or not the student already owns blue work pants. This is inefficient as parents often buy new pairs of jeans to avoid nice jeans getting dirty and exploratory. It's convenient to have blue jeans as an option since not every student will need blue work pants. However, There's no reason to bar parents from purchasing and using blue work pants right off the bat. The administration has given pushback against some freshmen wearing blue shop pants despite it not being thought of as against the rules, though it is not explicitly stated in the handbook as allowed for exploratory. The solution to this would just be updating the dress code so that exploratory students can choose whether they want to wear the blue jeans or just wear the blue work pants. In the future, we're planning to create an advertisement video for Diamond Clubs, which pitch and give information to incoming and current students about what options are available. This would include advisors, meeting times, a description of what the club does and what the goal is. And we would need the club advisors to send some updated information to us, and then hopefully we can also flesh out the website a little bit and get that updated because I noticed that it is very old. And then we're also going to update the downstairs A-wing hallway to become the Bengals Built Excellence Hallway, a place at Diamond where our students are celebrated. We're going to replace the current posters and the glass cases to relevant information that honor our students. This will include the list of honor roll students, perfect attendance students, co-op students, and their placements to start with. And finally, we're hoping to revitalize our Bengal Challenge program for incoming freshmen to get a taste of what it's like to be a student at Diamond during the summer of their freshman year. We will need current and new student volunteers to formally train over a school break, projected April break, on how to make incoming students and parents feel comfortable and well informed about their upcoming high school career at Diamond. Currently, our student volunteers lack diversity in their background here at Diamond, so we'd like to have students of other shops and backgrounds volunteer. And this will require some marketing on our part, and we need to figure out an incentive to encourage students to volunteer for this. And then, I'm not sure if you guys got the packet, but I got my slideshow in here, which I was told that you all will review on your own. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
Any questions or comments from the student rep?
Very good, very informative. Thank you.
Thank you again. All right, moving on to 1.5 citizen input. Do we have anybody signed up?
We do not.
2.0 unfinished business. We have none. 3.1 other matters, MSBA school building committee.
I'm gonna have Brian Bentley help us with this, but I did take a walk 2 weeks ago. The floors are all being poured as they finish the level. The steel work is going to be done by the end of January. They are moving from Locust Street towards the softball field. And as they're doing that, they are already starting to put up the not 2x4s, but the metal 2x4s to start making it look like it's something. So I was inside, I saw the culinary, I know they did in 251, I saw the administration offices and some of the classrooms on the next level. So it's really starting to look like a school. The plumbers are already, and electricians are already starting to do roughing work. And as we continue towards the softball field, they'll keep forming and keep doing the classrooms and finding it up. And the roughing will continue. So we'll have a better idea come February, once the steel is done and the floors are poured, and how fast things are going to keep moving with the wiring part.
And actually, I'm going to just say that Mr. DiBiasio covered probably everything I was about to say. Okay, we were there on the last meeting. You have a meeting tomorrow, Friday, down in the trailer. And at that point, they're going to pick up what their next stages are of building. As Don did indicate, they're building from the north to the south. They're starting to concentrate on the interior of what comes next. And they're actually hoping to have north probably a lot of the blue when you pull up to the building and covered, they're starting to move inside in order to complete work. They did a lot of concrete slab over steel, as they call it there, is being done. And they're expected to be on target, as they keep saying, for the entire project. That was the question that we had last year. They're on target.
The only other thing I can add to that, Mr. Chairman, is talking with Paul from Suffolk. They are already starting to look at what summer work they'll be doing next year for the see what interruptions we're gonna have with the school. But they are starting to put that together. Hopefully by March, we'll have a list of what they will need from our maintenance and our principal to organize the summer work that's gonna get done next year. I know they're gonna try to start doing some backfilling and moving the driveway over a little bit more so they can get that done. So I know that there's a lot more work in detail in what they're gonna be doing next summer.
All right. Is there anything else?
No, nothing there.
Any questions, comments? All right, moving on to MSBA project expansion, Mr. Kitchen.
We did not receive, we didn't receive a Colliers bill on time, so it's not in the agenda. ABA is for 115,537. There's an adjustment from the November bill, Suffolk, we paid off the pencil work last month. That's the only way we got the application 14 on time, so adjustments. An increase of payment of 144,234.66. The application 15 for December is $6,061,512.73. For Yankee Engineering, primarily for the fireproof testing, 4 levels, floors, and the asphalt was $25,920. Very late.
The Colliers one wasn't put in time.
No, we didn't miss it. We'll wait till next month.
All right. All right, I need a motion to approve the expenditures as submitted.
Motion made.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Roll call.
Roll call.
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu,
Yes.
Mr. Beegan,
Yes.
Mr. Attorney Flanagan,
Yes.
Mr. Manuel's,
yes,
Ms. Menard.
If I can mention on the MSBA reimbursements, we've been getting about 71% reimbursement rates. We were a little higher, a little less application, but just needs some, I'm curious about it. So we're on the schedule.
Thank you. Moving on, 3.1 other matters, B, personnel, Mr. Pettit, want to report on that?
For the committee's information, you see the appointments that have been made with cafeteria worker, administrative assistant, December break guidance counselor, which has already passed, 2 of them, and an assistant football coach. And we do have the retirement that has been sent into the building and has been received. Henry Daigle, plumbing instructor, he submitted a letter of intent to retire effective January 1st, 2026.
C, student travel, Mr. Bentley.
We have a request in from the DECA Club. Advisor has submitted an overnight student travel request for students to attend the DECA state competition at the Boston Convention and Exhibition Center, February 27th, 2025, March 1st, 2025. The recommendation is to approve the overnight student travel request submitted by the DECA Club advisor for the students to attend the DECA state competition held at the Boston Convention and Exhibition Center, February 27th, 2025 to March 1st, 2025.
Need a motion to approve. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Need a roll call?
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu,
Yes.
Mr. Beegan,
Yes.
Attorney Flanagan,
Yes.
Mr. Manuel's,
yes,
Ms. Menard.
Yes.
We have the use of facility, Mr. Bentley.
We have 2 requests that have come in. The Backstage Dance Academy has submitted a use of facilities request for the annual rehearsal and recital being held on May 29th through June 1st, 2025. You see that the listing of the dates that they're looking for and the price associated with each. And the recommendation is to approve the request submitted by Backstage Dance Academy to use the facilities for the annual rehearsal and recital, May 29th, 2025 through June 2025, and the total use of the facilities is $5,069.52.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Need a roll call?
Yeah.
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu,
Yes.
Mr. Beegan,
Yes.
Attorney Flanagan,
Yes.
Mr. Manuel's,
yes,
Ms. Menard.
Yes.
We have a second request in, Michaela Gagne, who's a school adjustment counselor here at Diman, has submitted a use of facilities request to use room 251 restaurant for the Fall River Youth of the Year announcement ceremony on March 20th, 2025, from 8:30 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. and to waive for the use of all facility fees. For the committee's information, this is an alternating site as we sponsor it one year and then Fall River sponsors it the next year. So we alternate between the two high schools and the use of the restaurants. The recommendation is to approve the request submitted by Ms. Michaela Gagne, School Adjustment Counselor, to use room 251 for Fall River Youth of the Year announcement ceremony on March 20th, 8:30 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. and to waive the use of all facilities fees.
Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call?
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu.
Yes.
Mr. Beegan,
Yes.
Attorney Flanagan,
Yes.
Mr. Manuel's,
yes,
Menard.
Yes.
All right, moving on to the acceptance of gifts.
The Charlton Charity Foundation, which have an ongoing relationship with Diman, has awarded Diman a 2-year grant in the amount of $100,000 for a high school to career college certificate initiative, and the first payment of $50,000 has been received. The recommendation is to accept first payment of $50,000 of the 2-year grant for the high school to college certificate initiative.
Recommendation is to approve. Need a motion? Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Need a roll call?
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu.
Yes.
Mr. Beegan,
Yes.
Attorney Flanagan,
Yes.
Mr. Manuel's,
yes.
Ms. Menard.
Yes.
Could I just, what exactly is that initiative? The Charlton Foundation, we were contacted, and we filled out a grant. And that is that we have programs here who students can attend, primarily BCC, as an early college student, almost the equivalent of sort of like I don't want to call it exactly that, so I'll stay away from it. But they sponsor high school students to go to BCC and take courses. We can buy a course, and they receive college credit while still in high school. It's been very, very useful, specifically in the business technology, office technology, business technology program, where students have obtained college credit while still high school students. This is expanding that. Of the $50,000 will allow us to purchase programs. Eric Silva, our guidance counselor, who's a liaison to BCC, we've already met with him, and he has furnished a list of how to roll this out to our students, which he's going to do very shortly, and have them enroll in the course. It'll be college for free.
So it's separate from the dual
It
enrollment.
is separate.
It's more of an articulated, it's more an articulated
Correct. It's
agreement.
much more of an articulation agreement for credit, okay, which is different than the dual enrollment.
Okay, thank you.
All right, moving on to 3.1F, need a change in the calendar.
Yes, just for the committees, and it will need a vote, is that originally the school calendar at the end of the year was miscalculated. Okay, by law, graduation can be held up to 12 days prior to the end of a school year. And counting the days back, it was off by approximately 1 week. So that would have changed what we had originally, which was June the 12th as graduation, and it moves everything that week going up to senior ceremonies. In contacting Fall River, because we do use Durfee High School, I worked with Ken Pacheco, who organizes those types of logistical matters for the use of facilities in the city of Fall River. We have agreed upon the following, which is June. Graduation will now be on June the 4th, which will happen as Fall River is occupying their own field on June the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. So we are going on what is available to us.
Just look down, is that, you said June 4th is graduation, but.
Oh, it is-
June
it's
5th.
Please go to the white.
It should have been,
It was a Wednesday.
If you go to the white copy, this originally it was, you're correct, Attorney Brilliant,
Yeah.
but in.
Oh, no, that's okay, I just want to make sure it was right.
In a very early morning phone
The
call
packet
on,
is-
a very early morning phone call on Wednesday, found out that Durfee, they decided because it is Tracy Curley, the superintendent, and Dr. Jay, Jessica over there said they're using the 5th, the 6th, and the
Yeah,
7th,
last
and putting them aside for the use of Durfee High School students. So we are opting in now for June the 4th for graduation, with a rain date of Sunday, June the Sunday, June the 8th. Thank you. I'll set this out. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
However, I'm hopeful we won't use the rain date. But the new calendar that affects the teachers here, that affects the seniors here especially, and affects the administration here, it's on this white one. This calendar here has been handed over to the union also, as the school calendar must be agreed upon between the union and the administration. So Mr. Sweet, the union president, and I did meet. We went over the dates, and again, we are at the mercy of Durfee High School and letting them graciously allowing us to use their facility for graduation.
Need a motion to approve the revised,
So moved.
need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Need a roll call?
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu,
Yes.
Mr. Beegan,
Yes.
Attorney Flanagan,
Yes.
Mr. Manuel's,
Yes.
Ms. Menard.
Yes.
All right, 2.1 FG, we have the MCAS update.
Yeah, the MCAS, as the committee is aware, the MCAS was voted out by the citizens of the state of Massachusetts, which now means that the MCAS is not a requirement. The test can still be given, okay, but it is up to each school district's vote of the committee, and I'll be looking for that tonight too, that to set a new competency determination. What are we going to do? We have met the administration, myself, Mrs. Lexa, Ms. Griffin, Director of Guidance, as this does affect our students, specifically in the class of 24, 25, and the upcoming class of 2026. For the class of 2024, those students who did not attain the competency determination, we have gone to what the law states we can do, which is that so long as they have accrued enough credits and passing the classes in order to graduate by having local requirements, we can declare that they have met the competency determination with no further testing. That we are going to do. For the class of 2025, which is our current class, we have students that did take it and they did pass. We have students that haven't, did not pass it, but yet the new regulations now kick in, which is if we have determined that they met the competency determination as established in the district by virtue of they've taken their classes needed, they have passed all their classes and the shop needed, that they have in fact achieved the competency determination. The same will be for the class of 2026. We are developing a competency determination school-wide assessment that will assess our students on a school-wide level that will set another bar. It is recommended by the Department of Education that we don't lower the standards, but that we adhere to standards that all students have to reach in order to graduate with a diploma. For those students in the class of 24, which is only one who did not pass the MCAS, she will be awarded her high school diploma now that we have changed the requirements. As it was explained, we really need to go back to every single student has ever taken the MCAS here at that, has failed the MCAS, that can, if they met the competency determination by passing all their classes and qualifying for that certificate of attainment, they can in fact be awarded a diploma. We were in the process of doing that. Coming up for the classes of 27 and 28, there will be a different requirement, which I will bring back to the committee at a later date.
Are we still gonna do MCAS?
We,
Yes.
I'm just
Still.
wondering what the state is asking. I mean, the MCAS is still gonna be done. It's just not a graduating material.
Correct.
correct.
It's gonna be voluntary though.
It
No.
is. No,
No,
Good question.
you will still have to take, every student will have to take it when it's offered in the springtime, because that still will impact our accountability score and for our school.
Is that gonna be every year? Or just this?
Yes, until they further come up with it.
DESE is going to give further guidance on what's going to do. I'm going to take a very good assumption and say that the Department of Education is going to develop something else that will be a guidance on the competency. Right now, they're leaving it to the school district, the administrative staff, reviewing the curriculum, reviewing what the course of studies are, review what the minimum attainment will be, and consider that the certificate of attainment. We are doing that. I received information through MASC on what the schools are doing throughout the area, Blue Hills, Sandwich, Upper Cape, Cape Cod Tech, and everybody is doing just about the same exact thing. So long as you've taken your classes, met the minimum requirements set by the district, then they have reached it. And that's for current class, last year's, and one coming up.
Good. Any other questions, comments on that?
So there is a recommendation to approve, basically what I just said.
Yep, need a motion to approve.
Yes.
make the motion.
Make the motion, need a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Need a roll call?
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu,
Yes.
Mr. Beegan,
Yes.
Attorney Flanagan,
Yes.
Mr. Manuel's,
Yes.
Ms. Menard.
Yes.
All right, move on to eight, vision of graduate.
Mr. Chairman, Mrs. Wackister has taken the lead role in this as this was started prior to her coming here. And it's something that she has really been on top of here as to what does a graduate of Diamond look like as established by the AASC. Leslie?
Right, so when I came in, this was something, and I'd like to thank Deb Boscom because she's been working side by side with me to do this. So we have a diverse group of stakeholders that include alumni, parents, students, current staff members, and current students that are going to sit with us and really define what it means to be a Bengal. So when people hear what is a Diamond Bengal, they have a vision, as it says, of what a graduate of this school looks like. So what we want to do is in line with what our purpose and our vision for our vocational technical students, what does it look like? And to really articulate where we're going with what does the B stand for? What does the E stand for? We're going deep into it so that Bengals build it better. And then that way we can use that as our branding and we'll go for moving forward with everything. So I've got, I was very pleased to have over 32 volunteers that are working, and we begin our kickoff meeting next Thursday night. We'll work in small groups. My hope is to have that accomplished from our outside stakeholder group by the end of the year, so that now we can bring it into the school, in departments, and then each program can articulate what that means for their graduation vision of a graduate, vision of a carpentry student, vision of a business tech student. when they graduate. So,
Very good.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, the list of meetings.
So I gave you just a copy of the memo, and I believe the breakout groups.
Any questions or comments?
I have a question. For those who have not joined, who want to join in the future, how will they do that?
Well, once we do our kickoff meeting and people understand the commitment, and I know we have one particular member that might want to join, we can talk about that at that.
Okay.
Just so you know, when the committee does come up with what this is, it doesn't just, there isn't a snap of a finger. It's gonna have to go out to students to vote on it, teachers to vote on it, parents, our advisory board members. And then once we have, any recommendations are taken into account for, then it will go to the school committee for the final.
Thank you. We're gonna pass over.
Yeah, that won't be addressed tonight. That was on the agenda by the ETA and the negotiating teams, those negotiations, so that won't be addressed tonight.
All right, Jay, monthly financial report, Mr. Kitchen.
The only negative balance is the same line as last month, the 4,300 on page 3, extraordinary expenditure, extraordinary maintenance. Those are the items that we have replaced. A lot of PPE equipment. Majority of our equipment has been paid for by the skills capital grants. We'll continue to utilize the grants through this year, they'll expire in June 30th, so it's nothing substantial support getting out. We did meet with the departments about the FY26. I'm happy to say that there isn't a large request, there aren't large requests for equipment. Nothing substantial for next year. So seems like we're ahead of it.
Any question or comments on the monthly?
How are we looking now that we're more than halfway through the school year?
We're on pace. It's that we do a recertification of cash in February. So that'll make it a balance in that account.
All right, moving on to K, expenditures, Mr. Kitchen.
We have our MSBA expenditures. We have from the secondary group, Sprague Energy Corporation is encumbrance for our oil. We moved over to another 2 oil. So that account is for $220,000. That's an encumbrance. From there, we have 3 expenditures from metal fabrication. MSI for a pipe beveler, around $87,935. That will be skills capital. There is Aircast is actually going to be amended the total welding supply in the amount of $31,799. That is for a simulator. And total welding for $27,240, 70 cents for 2 down draft tables. Again, we're also going to be skills capital grants.
Okay, need a motion to approve the expenditures?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Roll call?
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu,
Yes.
Mr. Beegan,
Yes.
Attorney Flanagan,
Yes.
Mr. Manuel's,
Yes.
Ms. Menard.
Yes.
Moving on to now the bid award, number 2 fuel oil.
In the past, we were burning number 4, which is not on the state contract, so what we're moving to number 2 oil, which is on the state contracts. I'd like to utilize the OSD contract for number 2 oil ENE 52 agreement, and that is through Spray Operating Resources. So there isn't a bid, it's just a utilization of the state bid.
Okay. Recommendation is to approve. I need a motion.
Motion to accept.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Roll call?
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu,
Yes.
Mr. Beegan,
Yes.
Attorney Flanagan,
Yes.
Mr. Manuel's,
Yes.
Ms. Menard.
Yes.
All right, moving on to end the house building program update. Mr. DiBiaseu.
I took a write-up to test Abigail, take a look at the house the other day, and the roof is on, and the students are starting to work inside. I didn't get a full report from Maria. Is Maria on today?
She is, yes.
All right, Maria, you want to help us, or maybe somebody from house building help us?
Sure. As you mentioned, Mr. DiBiaseu, the roof is on, the concrete has been poured. In the basement, we're waiting on the doors. The students are continuing framing inside, and electricity will be out there on Monday to start running wire. So it's coming along nicely.
The only thing I can say, Maria, I know these guys have probably already told you, but once we get a door, somebody's gonna have to fix that front part of the yard, because somebody's gonna break their ankle on that with the cement trucks gate.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yep. We'll speak to the homeowner about that.
Thank you. Yeah, the projects, Maria, anything on the projects?
The one project that is completed, since that form you have in front of you was printed, is that electricity has completed the 4th Street pump station for the water department. They've finished all of the electricity. The building now has security lighting on the outside of it, and everything rewired on the inside with a brand new service. So that has been completed, but that's not reflected on the form that you have in front of you.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments on the projects ongoing? All right, thank you, Maria.
You're welcome.
Moving on to end superintendent report, Mr. Bentley.
Very briefly, there's only 4 items on here. The first is the enrollment report, and it still shows that we have, and they make an error in typing, but not the child itself. We have a total enrollment of 1,470 students, and it's been maintained for a while. Exploratory just completed. There will be a very detailed data to follow at the February school committee meeting, but I'll get a few highlights. We have a total of 385 freshmen, 241 of them are placed in their first round picks. So 63% of the freshman class got their first pick, 53 in the second pick, 18 in the third pick, 24 in the fourth, 13 in the fifth, 10th in the sixth, and 27 students are in a vocational area which they did not choose as anything from 1 through 6. However, to inform the committee, Mrs. Griffin, who heads the director, did call each one of the 27 families that were affected by this, told them over the Christmas break about what had happened, and offered them what are the available choices in the program. So I think that 27 out of 385 is remarkable of getting the students into that. Currently, they are there in their programs for at least 2 weeks before they can even start requesting any changes whatsoever. Once you see the data coming up in February, we'll start taking a look into program availability. Are there any changes that need to be made? whether it is scoring rubric or in the programs themselves, but that's coming up in the future. And that is reflective of what happens every single year. Students choosing shops and the availability of getting into them, and should any changes be made. So that's just a common practice. Admission report, there are, and again, I'll correct it because when I wrote it, even after I put this together, we had changes. There are currently 807 applications that have come in for our next 300, and again, this committee will decide how many they want to go with. But it could be as high as 385 students coming in next freshman class. That'll be something that this committee will be looking for. We do meet on the admission subcommittee, and I will set the number of how we are going to take and how many students in each of the communities. But we have 807, which tops last year's 730. In the LPN, Mrs. Patera has now moved in as an in-role of LPN director. We did have a Zoom meeting yesterday morning with ongoing about the LPN program. The Board of Registration and Nursing is going to make a recommendation as they would like to see some different language. That was voted to put Mrs. Patera in place. There's nothing major. We did grant the program continued full, not funding, but full recognition. So we're not on warning. There's nothing. They would just like to see something else added in. I'm supposed to receive that probably by tomorrow, and Mrs. Patera and I will confer in order to rectify and give them whatever information they're looking for. We are unsure what they were looking for, but they're going to ask for something. I'm good with that. We have so far coming in, we had 18 students on board, another 16 coming in have applied for next year's class, so we're up to 24. So as Ms. Brogan said before she left, we should hit that number 30 to 35 students for the full-time program next year, no problem. So things are looking good in that program.
No part-time at all next year.
What's that?
No part-time.
No part-time, full-time, daytime program, staff with the 3 instructors that are there. And we have just recently advertised for a full-time LPN director to replace Ms. Patera, who cannot work beyond June the 30th. She's made that abundantly clear. And we're grateful for her coming back. If you do want the data on the tables that I gave you, that is in this report. Next month for the exploratory, we'll get the breakdown by shop, by choices, with numbers. So the committee will know.
Excellent. Great. Any questions or comments?
No, we're gonna get the data next month, just out of curiosity, was there one shop that was mostly had the highest request for?
Oh, there were a number of shops that had #1 choices. And I don't want to say it because I know I'll miss somebody. So I will let the data speak for itself, but it was very encouraging to look at these selections on how many #1s that there were. And again, a testament to Mrs. Griffin on getting students placed. Only 27 students didn't get anything. And it is because of the rubric that we have, and it's justified.
Thank you.
It's justified.
All right. Thank you. Moving on to calendar events. Next school committee meeting, if anybody could check their calendars, the guys are requesting that if we could move the February 13th meeting, whether to the week.
February
before.
6th.
February 6th. I'll have Elaine, guys, make that one. All right, what we'll do is, get in touch. If not, I asked Mr. DiBiasio if he could do it Zoom. And we can.
I'll be on the road. I'll be on the phone. I'll be road trip for retirement.
Denied. Yeah, no, fine, denied, fine.
We can talk about that later.
All right. Right now, our next meeting is scheduled for February 13th. School vacation be coming up in February. Anything else, Mr. Bentley? Have you,
On the calendar, it's quite full. To ask the school committee members rather to look to see if there's anything that interests them. And we have sport exceptionally active right now. And it would be encouraging to see a basketball game or any other winter activity that's in existence. I can get you tickets for pretty good price.
Great. Thank you. Pete, do we have anything that came in? We have a need to go into executive session.
As we do, Mr. Chairman, the Swords Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21, entitled Discuss Strategy with respect to collective bargaining litigation to open meeting. And that if there can be effective bargaining, if the bargaining chair so declares, which it does, be discussing the DAA and DTA negotiations. We will be going back into open session, but no votes are anticipated.
Okay. Need a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Have a roll call?
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu,
Yes.
Mr. Beegan,
Yes.
Attorney Flanagan,
Yes.
Mr. Manuel's,
Yes.
Ms. Menard.
Yes.
All right. We're in open session, need a roll call?
Mr. Jennings.
Here.
Mr. DiBiaseu.
Here.
Mr. Beegan.
Here.
Attorney Flanagan,
Yes.
Mr. Manuel's.
Yeah.
Ms. Menard.
Here.
Okay, need a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye, roll call?
Mr. Jennings,
Yes.
Mr. DiBiaseu.
Yes.
Mr. Beegan,
Yes.
Attorney Flanagan,
Yes.
Mr. Manuel's,
Yes.
Ms. Menard.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Manuel.
Happy.
Thank you.